There won't be another Mitchell's. I'm making the decision as the owner of Mitchell's in this life to put Mitchell's to rest. Mitchell's has been in business almost 30 years. I became a owner of Mitchell's Cafe in 2009. And then myself and my wife, Joelle, we became sole owners of Mitchell's Cafe starting in 2015. And then we bought out our previous partner, or my previous partners, Steve and Kathy, we bought them out in 2016. I think between Mitchell's and the Fish Place, we're probably the oldest restaurants in Fort McMurray. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Fish Place opened the same year as Mitchell's. My old neighbor, Bruce Willis, opened the Fish Place, actually. Yeah, and yeah, you could maybe thank him for giving me the restaurant bug way back in the day, because he owned some cool restaurants, man. He had this place over by Keano College called Hollywood Boulevard. He opened the McRae's with his wife at the time. They had McRae's in Thickwood and up there. You know, yeah. I think to see Mitchell's right now, where we are, who we are, the people we have working for us, the people that are coming in here every day, I think that defines what I wanted to make Mitchell's into if I ever said goodbye to it. So I think maybe that's made it easier to say goodbye, is the fact that I had a hand in bringing it back to a place of where it was four walls and a roof that welcomed anyone that would come in and give us the same respect we would give them. You know, when you're a place people go to when they go through something great or when they go through something utterly horrible, and you're a place that they want to go see, that's when you say, yeah, I did it. Whether you're making money or not, you know, when you can be a place like that for a community or for people, that's a good feeling. I'd like to say that it hasn't changed much since 2015. You know, maybe a few people have changed. We've tweaked the recipes here and there, but I've tried to be the constant comfort for everyone. It was a hard time. It was a hard time for our community since 2015. We have been through a lot as a community. Heck yeah, the world's been through a lot, but I don't know if, you know, not trying to play a sad violin for us, but we've been through a lot here. And that's one of my things that I can't detach from. I can't not care as much about this place as I do, because I really do. I really care about it, and I care about the people, and I care about the community. So that's maybe one of the reasons why we have to say goodbye the way we do, because I can't keep this up like this personally. Yeah, I won't be able to keep my balance of family and self and business. So yeah, you have to be able to say goodbye. Yeah, you look at yourself in the mirror one day and you say, whoa, you know, why am I, not who am I, but what am I doing? And why am I doing it? And I think I answered all those questions, and I looked around and I said, this place deserves another place like this. Will it be here? I don't know. That's not for me to decide anymore. Being a place for the community that people are proud of is probably one of the biggest honors of my life, right? You know, I think a corny Justin Trudeau thing that he said when he was like resigning is like, oh, you know, being the Prime Minister of Canada has been like the greatest honor of my life. And this guy said this when half the country was actively hating him, you know, and I could share that sentiment, you know, because it's like people are mad at me right now. They're very upset, you know. You're going to say F. Owen stickers on people's cars because it's like he's taking it down, you know. And, you know, yeah, be mad. That's great. Don't be mad at the staff. Don't be mad at my landlord. Be mad at me. It's my choice, right? It's the end of a lease. You know, I'm trying not to leave anyone holding the bag. You know, I'm trying to respect our landlord. I'm respecting my staff. I'm respecting myself. I'm respecting our customers, you know? I didn't want to pull the rug out from anyone. You know, I think it kind of may feel that way, of course, right? But how do you make these decisions? You know, I didn't have a blueprint for making a decision for probably one of the toughest decisions I've made in my life. You know, yeah. This reason it's not for any reason above. It's not for any, you know, it's not because we've done this or we didn't do that or we didn't try or you know, it's just because, you know, I think that life has run its course. I think that we were lucky enough to see 5 different owners of Mitchell's, basically 5 different groups of owners. Sometimes the same people were involved, sometimes they weren't. I took a lot of pride in bringing Mitchell's back to a place to where I knew we were doing everything from the heart. We were doing everything from where we could see it. We were getting all of our meats either done in this building or up the hill in the meat shop, who are great people, who I reached out to I think before I even officially took over and said, hey, I don't want to buy meat cooked somewhere else anymore. You know, my first crew of people who we had to reinvent a whole bunch of new recipes for a place that we didn't close and reopen. We kept going. You know, we renovated on holidays. I renovated over Christmas, you know, over Easter, over Thanksgiving, all while paying off a business loan and paying people, trying to keep the door open through some really crazy times, you know, like, yeah, I think I'm proud of every bit of work we did here. I'm proud of every staff member, every lifetime. You know, my front manager, Kim Hilt, she's probably been here the longest. She's been here since just after the fire. To have someone here for that long, to have people here, you know, not wanting to leave, but they're retiring and they're done. You know, like, what else could you ask for? You know, I'm sure not everyone who worked here thinks I was the best boss in the world. And that's okay. You know, I'm sorry to anyone that I wasn't. But I can say to myself that I really, really tried. And yeah, it was really tough. But I'm going out, you know, our lease is over October 31st. We're going out on a Saturday, the week before we close, you know. We're paying our rent, we're paying for our groceries, I'm paying my staff. We're not going out, you know, overnight, you know, with a bunch of people wondering where we are and all this, right? You're going out the most respectful way you can, giving people the most notice you can so that they can move on to the next phase in their life with the best way possible. You know, yeah, for me, there was no other way. You know, with all the ways things went and what we were looking at in the future and just the way everything's happened, I think it's a perfect time, like that really sappy Leonard Cohen song, to say goodbye. I think our most controversial thing that I did, knowing I was going to close this place, is allowing the Stay in Alberta petition to sign on our thing, right? I'm a proud Canadian, you know. My dad's my dad came to this country in 1979. My mom is a proud born and raised Ontario-wite who came to Fort McMurray. You know, like, I'm really proud of Canada. And having people get mad at us for letting people sign a petition out there, that was kind of comical to me. I try not to pick a side because I know how divisive things are, but I think that was a cool thing to do on my way out. So, you know, start a little controversy here or there. You know, the Sweet Heat came with the last ownership. I'm pretty sure Steve or maybe Jill McDougall invented that one. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask either of them, whether it was Jill McDougall or my old partner and boss Steve who started that one. But yeah, like, that was one I was like, I'm never doing this one again. And I was like, fine, we'll do it every 2 weeks because people just love it. And it's those ones that it's like, you know, the classic chef in me. It's like, oh, we don't even make that here. You know, you get People, you can get the sweet heat mustard at Superstore. It is the President's Choice brand sweet and heat mustard. It is Doritos. The lovely meat shop, Kim and Wayne, smoked the meat shop's meat for us. You can pretty much make it yourself. That's my gift to you, Fort McMurray. I'm not giving away the recipe for sunshine bread, but that's how you make a sweet heat sandwich. If I pass away in this town and they bury me or put a headstone up in that lovely, beautiful new memorial park in Wood Buffalo, put it on my headstone. The recipe for sunshine bread rests here. The mural was done by a local indigenous artist, Claire Antoine is her name. Yeah, that's one of I think that's one of my biggest pieces of pride, is that doorway, is just to have local indigenous art walking through the doors of Mitchell's, because that is so important of who we are. We're guests on this land, and this building has a very mixed history, and I think putting some really proud pieces of art that is art of nature, art of colors that someone is from here designed, I'm really proud of that, and I'm really happy to see that there, and I hope that everyone can understand the weight that took off of me and also brought to this place, having that there these past few years. It was one of my biggest pieces of pride, was using that public art program to get that done. So big hats off to the RM for having that program available for artists and for people. And also, yeah, I think it's really important to remember who we are, where we came from, but also who was here first. This might be aired before our last day.
No,
it won't? Okay. Okay, so it'll probably be sweet heat, just because you go out with a bang. I know that's everyone's favorite sandwich. Why not go out throwing Doritos everywhere that I can see? You know, I think that would be a great, it's kind of a great end to our story. You know, the sweet heat came with the last ownership. I'm pretty sure Steve or maybe Jill McDougall invented that one. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask either of them, whether it was Jill McDougall or my old partner and boss Steve who started that one. But yeah, like that was one I was like, I'm never doing this one again. And I was like, fine, we'll do it every 2 weeks, because people just love it. And it's those ones that it's like, you know, the classic chef in me. It's like, oh, we don't even make that here. You know, people, you can get the sweet heat mustard at Superstore. It is the President's Choice brand sweet and heat mustard. It is Doritos. The lovely meat shop, Kim and Wayne, smoked the meat shop's meat for us. You can pretty much make it yourself. That's my gift to you, Fort McMurray. I'm not giving away the recipe for sunshine bread, but that's how you make a sweet heat sandwich. Yeah. We make all our own cookie doughs. We make everything. We make it all. We're making everything, right? That's how I wanted this place to go out, and that's how we're going out. We're going out with a group of staff that have learned they're losing their jobs at the end of the month, and they're still deciding to come to work. You know, that's what more could I ask for? You know, I'm pretty content about that. You know, will sunshine bread appear? Maybe. I think that gets to be my choice. You know, I worked hard enough to be able to make that decision for myself, and you know, that's it. You know, yeah, but Mitchell's, you know, if anyone owned Mitchell's, if I own Mitchell's, quote unquote, because I don't like to ever see it that way, but if I ever owned it, and I own it, quote unquote, and I'm making that decision, well then, no one will own Mitchell's again. Mitchell's is going to sleep, is going away. The way Mitchell's was in 1996, we're gonna go out that way, and that's, you know, is it the same? No. Is there seating everywhere, and can you order a grilled whatever chicken salad sandwich? No, but Mitchell's has gone back as close as it can be to that place, and that's how we're gonna say bye. You know, I wasn't really gonna open this up, but you know, I know you guys quite well. I respect you guys a lot. I respect what you do as well. And I guess I felt people deserved to have a last word and not wonder. This is no one's fault. Thank you everyone. Thank you all my staff, all the past, present, all the people who came in here. I got a laugh at one comment was like, not a big fan of the bread, never really came in lots, but thanks for doing what you did for the community. And it's like, okay, well, not the time or place, but thanks, I guess. But it's like, that's kind of where we're at, right? It's like, cool. Yeah, I would hope that people just don't be afraid to do stuff. Someone be the next Mitchells. There's probably the next Mitchells is out there already. We just don't know it yet because it's not there. But it's already here, people. And don't sit around and wait for places to announce that they're closing to go enjoy them. Line up out the door every day. I'm not saying this for us. We've been really lucky. But remember, every time that you don't go get something yourselves, those businesses you love are losing money. Every time you don't go to Sports Check downtown, every time you don't go to CM Thai or Cedars or YMMFO or even go get your own groceries. These are all things that we're losing, right? And then we're gonna wake up one day and be like, oh, what happened to everything we loved? Support theater, support art, support everything that we do here, people. Support your companies that are paying their people that live here. That's the most important thing we can do. Be possessive of your community, be possessive of the people here. Support your companies and your people that are here and that you know them, right? It's really important, guys. Whether it's a chain or a born and bred foundation Fort McMurray business, we're far away from everything, and every step we take not closer to each other, we're further away. So just remember that, I guess.
It's a great line to end on.
Signing off.